Yo, my name is MajorSlack, thanks for coming back. Time for another insane Skyrim challenge run. Now, I have been occasionally criticized for making my challenge run introductions too long, although in my defense, confusion always seems to reign about the rules of engagement. Nevertheless, let's make this intro quick and painless. Here we go. Legendary difficulty. No exploits. No followers. No racial powers. Starting from the beginning of the game when you get your hands unbound in Helgen Keep, kill 100 bandits as fast as you can. No other restrictions. Everything goes. Just get the job done. Period. Alright, so Pee-wee, the official MajorSlack resident troll, is going to tell me how I did. How'd I do, Pee-wee?
34 seconds, Slack.
Great.
You know, Slack, I really like your videos, but that intro was just too long. I mean, 34 seconds to do an intro? Hey, everybody, if you want to skip the intro, jump to the 34-second mark.
Oh, come on.
MajorSlackAttack.
Booyah, here we go. My most insane challenge ever, the Manhunter challenge. For those of you who don't like a lot of business in Skyrim gameplay, this is the one. All combat, all the time. Kill 100 bandits as fast as you can on legendary difficulty. 6-part series, daily videos until the series is complete. This run you're watching represents my best time so far, which is 2 hours, 35 minutes, and 17 seconds. And let me tell you, it was a fucking grueling run, pardon my language. It was grossly underpowered throughout most of the run, and there is no normal build suited to this run. If you try min-maxing a melee warrior or a mage or an archer, none of that works because it just takes too long to put those starter builds together. So I didn't join any factions in this run. I didn't join the College of Winterhold, didn't join the Dark Brotherhood, didn't join the Companions, nada. Only did one batch of skill training to get smithing up to level 22, and only enchanted 3 items and no power leveling of any kind. In fact, it was actually dangerous to level up too much too fast. So that was one major agenda, was to keep leveling in check. Had to rely heavily on selling off loot that I got off the dead furry business model, which is, and I stress this time and time again, the worst business model in Skyrim. But the bottom line is there was no time to do anything else, so my cash flow was pitiful to say the least. I did manage to cobble together enough ingredients on the way as I was flashing through the run to put together a tiny batch of power potions, but that was just for the cash. It wasn't about leveling up. And that's it. The build that I used, if it be proper to call it such, that I finally ended up working the best is what I would loosely call a kitchen sink multi-skilled spellhammer build, like a multi-mage skilled spellhammer build. Perk points end up getting spread all over the place, and as a result they get basically spread too thin. This build though was ideal for quickly crowd controlling and wiping out small groups of bandits, then recharging and moving on. It was fantastic for that. It takes advantage of the fact that all skills in Skyrim, with the exception of smithing, have no minimum skill level requirements in order to get the first 2 perk points. So what you can do is gain the quick upper hand whenever you spend 1 or 2 perk points in any skill. And the strength of this kitchen sink build is stacking a number of those early game advantages all together and then just going on a blitz run before you level up too much. And that's how I managed to accomplish this. But because the perk points are spread too thin, this build starts to fall apart around the level 10, just before the end of the speed run, when higher level bandits start spawning, like bandit thugs and even bandit highwaymen, which were way above my pay grade. So the last 10 enemies actually were the hardest, believe it or not. Talk more about that later. Alright, so we just blasted through Helgen Keep. None of the kills in Helgen Keep count because Hadvar is with you. And I started out as a Breton, and I went with Hadvar so that we can befriend Alvor in town and get all those steel ingots and iron ingots for free, plus some iron gear. And like I said, because no followers are allowed, all the kills in Helgen Keep don't count, so I had to just run through that. The only thing that I really needed from Helgen Keep was the Novice Hood, which will give an extra 30 magicka, which turned out to be extremely useful in this run. Alright, so hitting up the Warrior Stone And I believe all I have on board right now is some Imperial armor, which I quickly grabbed out of the chest at the very beginning. I don't even think I have a weapon. And the Novice Hood. And I'm going to go at the first guard here at Ember Shard Mine with flames. I meant to come down on top of him, but I overshot and accidentally discovered a better way to take him on. It's right here behind these two barrels. And then he gets kind of stuck behind the barrels and behind the wagon and behind the tree, and you get a lot of free shots on him. And his health is almost half down before he can even take a shot at you. And then I run by him on the weapon side. And you always get it kind of like a... You can always escape his attack if you run by on the weapon side. And this is always an issue, so just to show you, it is indeed on legendary difficulty. That's always an issue. Some, troll's going to come along. This is not on legendary difficulty. And this is a bunch of stuff that was force-fed to me as a result of some Creation Club stuff I bought. So I'm just dropping all these elemental arrows, which have absolutely no... I'm not going to use them in this run. And none of the Creation Club stuff that I have installed is going to have any impact on this run. And let's start blasting through Ember Shard Mine. One thing I could have done was... I have blasted through Ember Shard Mine in 3 minutes flat using an iron ore hammer and some vegetable soup. The thing is, this has happened to be testing another project, and that is you may actually get to Riverwood and not find any tomatoes at all, which is essential to make vegetable soup. So I didn't want to take that chance and was determined to just jump right into combat and get 20 kills in the first 30 minutes of the run, which is the first video. I did it in 32 minutes, but yeah, I didn't want to go to Riverwood and not come up with any tomatoes, then have to go all the way to Whiterun, finally get some tomatoes, and then come back to Ember Shard Mine, and by that time it'd be 17 or 20 minutes into the run, and then people would be going, hey, you said there was all combat, and then, spend the first 20 minutes, basically engaged in business. So, to avoid that, I just jumped right in it, just took a chance, and here we go. As a Breton, you have the Conjure Familiar spell, which is this here. I call it Blue Dog. It casts out a blue wolf. So I pop that in there to block that guy in. Divide and conquer. Because these two first guys are real tough. And then I gobble down some minor Magicka potions to bump up my Magicka and then finish this guy off with flames. As you see, it almost took me down within an inch of my life. Yeah, this is going to be pretty much par for the course throughout this run. So Blue Dog has got the other guy engaged. I've got a sword now, and I want to try to power level one-handed, just to get a quick perk point. I am eventually going to switch over to two-handed and the Warhammer. Down he goes. Grab his loot. Quickly go over here, see if I can get some... This is usually cabbages. I don't think it's ever been anything else. Obviously, vegetable soup is going to be very useful throughout this run when I finally switch over to the Warhammer, which will actually be very, very shortly. Vegetable soup will allow you to do perpetual power attacks. You make vegetable soup with 1 cabbage, 1 leek, 1 potato, and 1 tomato. The bottleneck is always tomatoes in the beginning. Alright, so I'm going to do some speed mining. Something you rarely see MajorSlack do. I always enjoy the mining animation, but forget it, this is a speed run, so speed mine those ores. Ore veins. Picking up the Fly Amanita for fortified two-handed potions. Make fortified two-handed potions with Dragon's Tongue and Fly Amanita. There we go. 2 iron ore veins mined. That's all I needed. I ended up mining 2 more, which was excessive. I didn't need to do that. That was part of an old strategy that I forgot that I didn't need anymore. So you see me do 2 more later on. Now, open up the drawbridge. 2 guys come out. 1 will go left, 1 will go right. The one that goes left is going to come in here. Now the plan was, best laid plans of mice and men, was to cast Blue Dog in this tight little tunnel here, which always blocks the guy from coming in. But it didn't work this time. Of course, I press record and everything goes sideways. Someone got through, whacked me a good one, and I backed off, and it worked out anyways. Blue Dog engaged him. And originally I want to go around the other side and come at these guys from the other side. I changed plans here and decided to go, since this guy was engaged with Blue Dog, go at him hard with the sword, see if I could finish him off. Because the other guy's on the other side behind Blue Dog, so he can't get at me. Unfortunately, they whacked Blue Dog before I could finish this guy off, so I was taking a big chance here. Had to gobble down some health potions. Managed to finish him off, and now I've got to run away because I'm fearing for my life. My health is half down, and I'm not sure how many health potions I have left. Now go at him with the flames. Run by on the weapon side, because you always get away with it, see? Run by on the weapon side. Go up here, try to buy some time. See if I can finish him off. Buying him a little more time. And down he goes. There's a nice kill there. Yeah. Speedruns are typically about avoiding as much combat as possible, so that you can complete the game's objective as quickly as possible. But in this run, we're going to turn that tradition on its ear and make combat the goal of the speedrun. So yeah, and I don't know if you know or not, but combat is wildly unpredictable in video games, so yeah. Alright, next guy is in front of the cage. I misfired Blue Dog. Finally got him out. As you can see, combat wildly unpredictable. Especially when you got Mr. Fumblefingers on your team. I don't know how my steel sword got unhotkeyed, so I had to hotkey it again. Now, once again, go at this guy with some quick one-handed attacks because I want to get a quick perk point. And a nice kill there. Get his loot and the key to the cage. Grab the Fly Amanita for, once again, fortified two-handed potions, and let's go in the cage and see what kind of goodies we get. Initially, I was really excited to get this high shield of resist magic, but it turned out I rarely used it. Magic resistance is probably the number one thing you need in this run, because mages are death. They're just basically death. You come up against a mage in this run, grossly underpowered, and you got to have a way to deal with them quickly. So that's why I went with the Breton, because he has 25% magic resistance, and then we're gonna go hit the Lord Stone and get another 25%, and 50% will be enough to survive mages, not enough to really deal with them, but to survive them. So that's why I was really excited to get that high shield to resist magic, but as I said, it didn't really turn out to be that useful. Getting some free shots in this guy here, flames from a distance, takes him a while to run around the ramp and up. And I'm just buying some time here. Power attack. Just hitting with the kitchen sink, like I said, kitchen sink all the way. Now, the remaining two guys, one should be an archer, the guy on the bridge. Unfortunately, oh yeah, I have some mods installed. Some mods that change the graphics, that's all. No mods that change the gameplay, supposedly. But the guy on the bridge, I don't know, one of my mods accidentally changed the guy on the bridge to a two-handed warrior. I don't know which mod it is, and I couldn't be bothered, you know, uninstalling my mods and trying to figure out which one it was, so I just dealt with it. Now, at this point, I'm not aware that the guy that I was flaming is already dead. So I was positive, as always happened in practice runs, that both those guys were chasing after me, which is absolutely hellacious. So that's why you see me running away in abject fear. But the guy that I was flaming actually died from residual burn damage from afterburn. So I'm approaching cautiously because that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting still two guys there. And now there's only one guy left. It should be an archer, like I said, but one of my mods accidentally changed him to a two-handed warrior, which actually made it harder. It's a lot easier to deal with this guy who's left if he's an archer, because you get right up in his face and he's only got a dagger. run by on the weapon side. And there was enough room to run by there. And there we go. That's 9 kills, including the guard outside. Now, I just want to check all the sacks and barrels for tomatoes, which, like I said, is the bottleneck, and grab all this stuff here. I'm scrimping and saving every penny I can. And quickly check all the sacks, looking for tomatoes, and salt pile too, because that'll be good to make some combat food and some power potions. Didn't really do that well in the tomato department this time. I often come out with a lot of tomatoes from Ember Shard Mine. Alright, down here to grab some more fly amanita. And there's a couple of iron ore and iron ingots on the smithing tables over there. This wasn't necessary. This was part of an old strategy, and I forgot to kind of delete this from the run. Not delete it, but just not do it. There we go. Grab the smithing book. Got our first perk point. Grab a couple of iron ingots. And that is it. We are gone. It's the money, Slack. Attaboy. This iron ore vein here also was unnecessary, it turned out, because I ended up with an extra 7 iron ore. So I could have gone with that. I don't know, maybe has to take 7 seconds to manually mine, so I wasted 15 seconds altogether. Now I want to wait till morning, because it's best to get into Riverwood at first thing in the morning if you befriend Hadvar, because this will make us friends with Alvor, and he's just starting to work at his smithing station there. Gotta run in. This is like a little pit stop, which that's pretty much all the business, except for one I'd say about a 12 to 15 minute business session at Whiterun. There's no other business this entire run. It's all just little 3 to 4 minute pit stops. Like this one. This one is a 5-minute pit stop in Riverwood. Hit up Alvor, grab all the supplies, do the whole Bleak Falls barrel thing. A dragon attack, blah blah blah. Quickly jam through that. Now, before he goes inside with Hadvar, you gotta quickly grab the iron boots and the iron gauntlets, which is very important, and all these ingots here. Because if you want to do business with them, and you want to buy some iron ingots, those iron ingots will be subtracted from his supply. Now I'm just going to sell off everything. Keep the iron warhammer. I was lucky enough to get a banded iron armor. All the fur armor goes, hide armor goes. Keep the hide shield, which, like I said, actually didn't turn out to be that useful. Okay, so I have some iron gear. All I need to do is make a helmet. And for that, and for some other stuff I want to do later on, I need 6 leather strips. Bought that. Iron helmet. Boom, we got a full set of iron gear. And we have enough ingots to improve it all to fine, so let's do that. The banded iron armor requires a corundum ingot to improve. Now it's vegetable soup ingredient time. The cabbages, the potatoes, and the leeks are no problem. It's the tomatoes that's always the bottleneck. So I'm checking all the barrels once again, looking hopefully to get some tomatoes. I didn't. This pretty much takes, this little garden here pretty much takes care of all your vegetable soup needs in the beginning. Whole bunch of everything you need for vegetable soup except tomatoes. Got all that. Grab those, and then we're going to go into the inn and see if Orgnar has any tomatoes for sale.
You just find that lying around?
Faendal thinks he can woo Camilla Valerius away from me. She's
Orgnar,
You got no club.
tomatoes. Maybe these new shoes. Come on, lucky seven, and he strikes out. No tomatoes.
Hard not to.
Forget about getting the rest of the bonus. Like I said, I'm trying to control leveling. Hit up some more barrels, looking for tomatoes and salt pile. That's another thing I'm looking for. So that was a valuable acquisition there. Then I went running around the back. This is also part of an old strategy that I forgot to like eliminate from the run. So I just did that, and I was thinking, why did I do that? So back here into the Riverwood Trader, sell off the rest of the stuff, and then I'm gonna buy the Fury spell and the Oak Flesh spell. The second of which I didn't end up using that much, but the Fury spell was indispensable. It saved my arse. Totally saved my arse. Between Fury and Blue Dog, it made this run doable. So here we go. 7 tomatoes. That's 7 vegetable soup right there. Alright, up to books. Buy Fury and Oak Flesh. Eat those books right away.
Better get back to cleaning the store. What a mess.
And let's make some vegetable soup. That's it. Hotkey. The new spells. Fury. Oak Flesh. And now we gotta bite into the build. We're no longer like completely naked like we were in Embershard Mine. And one thing I forgot to do was improve the Warhammer. So that goes up to fine. Get a little bit of extra damage for that. And level up. Points into Magicka. And first perk point into Novice Conjuration to cut the cost of casting Blue Dog in half. Very important. And as I go through this run, you're going to see me put all my points into Magicka. You may be thinking, why not put points into health? I tried that. You know, because it's like survival, right? I tried that, and pretty much all it does is delay your death by 20 seconds. That's all. It's like, it just seems inevitable. So I felt it was a waste, and I felt it was a lot better to go with a lot of Magicka. And it turned out I was right. Just having a lot of spells at your disposal made this a hell of a lot easier. So here we go. The little bandit camp, the unmarked bandit camp that has the, I call it treasure map camp. Cast Fury on the guy in the middle. Get them all fighting one another. And now I'm going to cast Blue Dog. Misfired. Out he goes. And let's hotkey vegetable soup. Gobble some vegetable soup down so we can do perpetual power attacks. And away we go. Don't hit the guy that's furified. And let's let fly with the power attacks. Alright, that's kill number 10. That's kill number 11. That's kill number 12. Loot everybody. Looking for that treasure map. Got it. Hit up the one-handed skill book. That'll help with character progress leveling. And grab these blue mage robes, which are actually quite valuable. Now let's go up to a little unmarked location, which I like to call Corundum Clearing. Has 3 Corundum ore veins there, which is going to be very useful to create steel ingots, because we're going to switch over to steel armor that seems to be good to Whiterun. Now, with no barter bonuses, the number of steel ingots required to make our steel gear is actually quite expensive. And what I want to do is, some of you may be shocked that I'm going to do this in a speed run, is I want to buy a horse. After like doing many practice runs, realized that relying on a stolen horse or a borrowed horse was not. It was a lot better to have a horse that would stay put once you dismounted. And a borrowed horse and a stolen horse will not do that. They'll immediately try to return back to their point of origin. And that screwed me up so many times in this run. So I said, okay, spend the 1,000 gold to buy a horse. And obviously taking the time to do the frost quest was out of the question in the speedrun, so just buy a horse. So I'm scripting and saving for two things at the beginning here. To buy a horse and to buy smithing skill training 5 times, which like I said, that was the only skill training I bought in the entire run. Up here to the Shrine of Talos, where there's always a dead Thalmor soldier who's got some valuable gear on him. Quickly grab that so I can sell it. And there's a wolf right on my arse. Something I just realized only after watching back this run was I could have just fast traveled to the Guardian Stones to save a few seconds here. Instead I decided to run down. Now I'm going for the Flawless Emerald that's right near Anissa's cabin. It's kind of like down the little cliff. Anissa's cabin is off to the left there. Once again, scrimping and saving my pennies so I can buy 2 key items. Down here, into the deer skeleton, get the Flawless Emerald. That's 250 gold right there. Now I want to run to the hollowed out log where the treasure map 1 treasure is. But I want to stick to the cliffs on the side here because there's always a random hostile event off to the left there, and it's often mages, which is, it would be death, instant death if it was mages, and it usually is. So just give them a wide berth. And I know it's getting pretty dark. One of my mods, the Vivid Weathers mod, makes it pretty dark at night if there's no moon. I did adjust the night brightness though. I've got it adjusted up to max. So occasionally during this run, I may actually wait till morning, even though it like wastes 15 seconds. Waiting 24 hours, it runs 30 seconds real time. So waiting 12 hours is like 15 seconds. Like I'm doing that here because it's just too dark. So for the sake of making a better video, and so I could find my way around. Alright, so next stop, that little unmarked tower right near Bleak Falls Barrow has 3 more bandits. Gonna go at them with a warhammer, vegetable soup, and blue dog. Alright, battle gear on. This one worked out pretty good. Even though the bandit came after me initially, Blue Dog ended up engaging all the bandits. It was perfect. Couldn't have worked out better. And he's got them all bunched up inside there. So these guys are sitting ducks now. Wacky wacky. Alright, that's kill number 13. Here I'm just checking to make sure I've got my vegetable soup happening. Because I kind of like took a swing there. This is crazy, taking on 2 bandits at once. That's number 14. I was lucky that guy was taunting there. He bought me some time. There's kill number 15. Leveled up again. Drop the heavy shit. I don't know why I kept the pickaxe. I don't need it anymore. Maybe just paranoia. Alright, more points into Magica. And this time, 1 point to Novice Destruction, which will cut the cost of flames using flames in half. And you may be thinking, what? You will not believe how useful flames was throughout the entire run, especially near the end. It was indispensable, so that it was like, definitely need that. Alright, 3 more bandits here at Bleak Falls Barrow. 2 of them are archers and one's a two-handed warrior. It's pretty much hell going up to the top immediately because they're separated. 1 on each side, so like if you send out Blue Dog, he'll go after 1 and then it kind of like leaves the other 2. It gets kind of hellacious, so I like to hang out down here, draw the two-handed warrior down, throw out Blue Dog, and then go after him. There you go, down he goes. Now Blue Dog's gonna go after one of the archers. Take out the flames. And this is beautiful. They both bunched up. This couldn't have worked out better. Unfortunately, Blue Dog is taking a little friendly fire right here. That happens a lot. 1's down. 1 left. Staggered him. That's great. And that's 18 kills. In the famous words of Get Smart, missed by that much. Trying to get 20 kills in 30 minutes. Almost did it. 32 minutes. Final 2 kills for the first 20 kills are inside Bleak Falls Temple. Just gonna get those 2 and then run out. Cast Fury on the guy on the right. If you do it on the guy on the left, for some reason they both come at you. I don't know why that is. And he's not even looking at you. But every time you cast it on the guy on the left, they both come at you. So they're both engaged with each other. Cook him up. Short control burst to stack up that afterburn damage. 1's down. The other one's down, and that is it. Coming up near the end of the video, if you thought this was remotely entertaining and or informative, please give the old Slackster a big old thumbs up. And you're going to see in a moment, I'm going to show I got 20 kills in the stats screen. There we go. Hey guys, real walkthroughs like these are an endangered species here on YouTube. For a complete lowdown on the YouTube video game walkthrough scene, check out my Patreon page and please consider making a donation to yours truly, Major Slack, to help keep real walkthroughs alive on YouTube. You can donate as little as $1. That's $1, that's all. That's all it takes, alright? Thanks a lot, really appreciate it.